Hey socialites, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Ariell. I do mainly beauty videos, fragrance, and lifestyle vlogs, so if that's the type of content you enjoy watching, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and come join the family. So today's going to be another trying new makeup video. This is going to be an affordable edition. I think everything that I use today is under the $20 price point. The star of the show is going to be the Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector. So if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. Okay, y'all, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna do all affordable or drugstore products today. So the star of the show is the Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. This is said to be a dupe for the Chanel foundation, and I'm not sure how close it comes to the dupe because I don't own it. They don't make my shade. I've tested it out with a shade that didn't quite match, but it was the closest match that I could find. Dries down to the point you don't really need to set it with the powder, which I like, and it's super sheer. So you're gonna get next to no coverage from this, but it'll even out your skin tone. So I've already worn it a couple of times already, so I know what it gives. I picked up the color 60. So yeah, that's my shade. It does have the little micro beads in there. About 2 to 3 pumps does my whole face. And as you can see, it's really watery. And as you sort of rub it in, the pigment sort of bursts. See that? And so it's a lot of skincare in here. With my skincare this morning, I just pretty much did I washed my face and put on a lightweight moisturizer, and that's it, because I don't want like serums and stuff to interfere with this. It's one of those products, and this is the closest shade that they make to my skin tone in case you were watching for those reasons. And I just blend it into my skin. You have to keep blending for a while because it's pretty separated, y'all. With the actual Chanel one, I don't have to blend as much, like it would have been blended by now, but I don't know if you guys can see the separation, but you have to kind of blend for a little while. So see, you still see all the pigmentation. It's not going to give you much coverage. I already know in the summertime this shade won't work for me because I feel like this shade barely made the cut. Like I can make it work with a bronzer, but I wish it was like a tad darker. But it's not terrible in the shade. But summertime for sure, this will not work for me. There is Berkujol in here. I think you call it Berkujol. And it serves as almost like a natural version of Botox. So it does slightly plump, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I wore it the other day. And I'll pop a little video in of how it looked at like the 4.5–5 hour mark. It was sort of oily. I'm not gonna say oily, but you definitely saw that shine. It wasn't super oily. But after that, I did blot it a little bit. And the interesting thing about this is I found that the longer I had it on, the better it looked. So when I was probably at about that 8 or 9 hour mark, and I'll pop a video in of that mark, and I had blotted probably like 3 hours previous to that, it just sort of started to settle into my skin a little bit more and just kind of become one with my skin. I just liked it. The longer I had it on my skin, I liked it a little bit more. Even using a brush with this, you still won't be able to build any more coverage with this, in case you were wondering, because I've definitely tried both ways. And you're just not gonna be able to get much more coverage than this. I'm gonna pull from my February makeup tray and use my LYS cream contour stick, or like cream bronzer stick. A little bit of this goes a long way. This is in the shade Courage. Look, I'm down to the bottom of it. This is all I have left, y'all. I've used this up. And yes, this will most definitely be a repurchase for me as soon as I'm done with this. I'm gonna blend with my Hourglass foundation brush. For highlighting, I'm gonna use the new Nyx Concealer. which by the way has way more coverage than this foundation. So my under eye is gonna look as if it has more coverage than the rest of my face, but I want you guys to see how it looks in case you haven't tried it. I got the shade Cinnamon in it. Where is it? Is this stick? I got the shade Cinnamon, which is a good color. I thought it was going to be too close to my skin tone, but it's not. It's just light enough for me to like it, like to make a difference. So this is the NYX Pro Fix stick. So yeah, you guys can see it. Put some here. This is super creamy, you guys, super creamy. I would say it's about a medium to full coverage. I'm not sure what the claims is, but I've already worn it. So I get like medium to full from this. Blends out super easy too, but it's super emollient. So I'm unsure how this would work for somebody with oily skin because it's so emollient. Even for myself, I have like normal skin, but I don't know how this will work in the summertime. I'm fine now, but summertime, I don't know. So when summertime hits, we shall see. So I'm going to use the LYS. This is their concealer brush. So I'm not really going anywhere for real, just running errands today. So I feel like this was the perfect day to try this out for y'all because it's just so lightweight and skin-like, literally. After all my makeup is done, I'm not mad at it as far as the coverage because as you can see, even though you can see some of my pigmentation for everyday wear, it's cool. For me, like I don't have to cover all, as long as I cover it somewhat, I don't have to have 100% coverage with my pigmentation. And it's lighter, much lighter than what it was a couple months ago. I've been using Kojic soap just on the dark marks, and I can definitely tell a difference. Let's go in and set because this concealer is quite emollient. So I'm going to use the CoverGirl Clean Invisible Powder. This was another product that was on my February makeup tray. I use the color Medium Translucent. They do have shades lighter and darker than this, by the way. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to tap right in with that same concealer brush and just lightly set in the highlighted areas. And the concealer doesn't crease as much as you would think, being that it's so emollient. I didn't have an issue with that the first time I wore it. I'm gonna take my L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour blush. This one's in the shade Darling Rose. Oh, look, I just realized, y'all, I've been having this for probably like 8 months and I never knew the bottom side of these Infallible blushes has a full mirror. Like, really? But anyways, this is what Darling Rosewood looks like, a beautiful rose / terracotta shade. And I'll use my e.l.f. Putty blush. This is the e.l.f. Putty blush brush. This is super pigmented, so apply very little and build it up. This is a ton of pigment. We're gonna go LYS for the brow, so I'm gonna use the LYS brow pencil and just lightly fill in. Now with this brow pencil, since I'm using the LYS brow gel, I fill it in first and then go over top to secure it because it's such a light hold with this. I would say that not only this technique, but the actual LYS brow gel, how a lot of the brow gels now can give you that laminated brow look. I don't think you can quite get a laminated brow look with that gel. It's not enough hold, but it's gonna hold your brows, but it's not gonna, you know, give you the lamination look, which some people really like. It just happens to be trending right now to have the laminated look. But for those who just want something to hold you in place without being too firm, you'll probably really like this one. I would love to see them come out with like a firm hold version of this and see like their take on that. Their packaging is the absolute cutest. Everything has like their signature triangular shape. I think it's so cute. even like their setting spray. Even that brow pencil, I don't know if you guys can see, but the brow pencil is actually shaped in a triangle, and the actual product that comes out of the component is in a triangle shape. It makes their product so easily recognizable. So I'm gonna lightly sculpt out my brows a little bit with the Sephora Best Skin Ever. I like to use this not only because of the coverage with brows, but because the shade is so close to my skin with just a tiny bit of a contrast. This is in the shade 35N, and I also wear the shade 35N with their foundation as well. This is the Sephora Pro brush, the number 71 brush. Okay, so still pulling from the makeup tray, we're gonna use the Juvia's Place Coffee Shop palette, and I'm not gonna do much of an eyeshadow look. I'm just gonna put like a wash of brown on the lid. So we're gonna take this brown here, just kind of blend it in the crease. And this blending brush, by the way, I don't think I told y'all, is the Sephora Pro brush. This is the number 27 brush. I think all of these came in that set that was around during the holidays. I think it was a full size Sephora Pro brush set with like 8 brushes for $85, or maybe it was $95. And $95 was like, wow, same quality. They didn't skimp on the quality at all. I'm gonna take a really small shader brush. This one is from Game Beauty. And I'm gonna go in and create a line. I'm gonna use a combination of these two dark browns to do just a slight wing. Popping on my little half lashes. Now, when I first picked up the foundation like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I ordered it, I want to say on Amazon, and it was around like $21. I think that was like at the height of the viralness of it, and it wasn't really, like, I didn't see it in any other stores, but now I think you can get it for much cheaper at like Ulta or wherever Covergirl is probably sold. But I will try and find a link and put it in the description box. For mascara, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Big Mood mascara. Since it does have the Bakuja in here, it's 0.5% of it. It does slightly plumping, although I've used foundations or skin tints before that you could see a lot more of the plumping than you can in this, but I do notice a little bit of plumping at like past the 5-6 hour mark. So it's one of those that, you know, as the day progresses, you'll start to see your skin sort of smooth out and plump out a little bit more, but it's slight. It's not a whole lot, but it's a little bit noticeable if you're paying attention. I'm not mad at it. This is one that I would probably love if my skin was in like better condition, meaning not as much pigmentation. So maybe by the summertime, after my marks have sort of brightened a little bit more, but I'm not mad at this. It's a nice everyday, you know, wearable sort of skin tint or foundation situation that's going to even out the skin tone. So comment down below, let me know if you've tried this before, or are you interested in trying this. So for the lips, I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution pencil. This is the Ariell Filter Finish Lip Definer in the shade Americano Brown. Very inexpensive. I think you can get this at Ulta for maybe $5. And this is more of like a warmer shade of brown. And then we're going to try out the e.l.f. lip oil. This one's in the shade Honey Talks. This is like one of the more popular shades in the lip oil. LYS finishing spray. this is the look. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this get ready with me. Comment down below if there are any of these products that you use in your everyday routine. Now for fragrance of the day, I'm going to pull from my February fragrance tray and use the Valentino. This is the pink perfume. It's a Donna Born in Roma flanker that was limited edition. Smells really good though. So such a beautiful fragrance, and it just develops over time. It's like throughout the day it just gets better and better. Orange blossom forward fragrance. If you have Prada Paradox, you don't need this because they smell so much alike. But thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. I would love for you to come join the family by hitting the subscribe button, and I'll see y'all in the next one. 'Cause I've been where you are. You're too scared to show me love. 'Cause too fresh with the scars. Well, I don't have the answers.